Here we are in Bricklands field, and this is an area that we've set out as a fallow for the year. So this will be run through the whole year as a fallow. It's a 24-metre section of the headland, and what we've done in the area I'm standing in now is we've cultivated this very shallowly with the development cultivator we've built with Cousins. And here we've also, whilst we were cultivating, we've sown in some mustard, hot mustard, a few more, and clean more, to see what effect that might have on the blackgrass. We'll be running this particular piece of mustard all the way through the season, so we'll let this go to a full cover, and then chop it up and incorporate it later in the year. We've done that on 12 metres of the 24. And on the other 24, or the other 12 metres of the 24, we've just left it as chopped straw on stubble, and we'll spray this area off at various times throughout the year to encourage more blackgrass germination and prevent any seed return. Behind me, running up through this headland, we've just cultivated that with the Cousins cultivator, nothing planted in there, just left to natural regeneration, but that will be drilled in. It's only this area here we'll leave to fallow. Out across the field is the area that we're going to be direct drilling. We hope to get the drills in around the third week of October, week of the 22nd. We are seeing an extremely good germination of blackgrass now in high numbers, so we're fairly confident that the dormancy has broken, and we are getting, having had good rainfall now, we are getting very good levels of germination, and that'll be sprayed off prior to drilling at that stage. There's certainly no point in getting the drills in any earlier, because the blackgrass has only just started to really come through in numbers, so we would feel we're just a week or so ahead if we drilled any earlier. Okay, still in Bricklands field. We're now in the block which we're going to direct drill. We're hoping to get in 5 or 6 different direct drills to see how they function. And we might repeat some plots with 1 or 2 drills set in different ways to see if we can influence blackgrass more strongly. The whole focus of the site here at Brampton in 2012 going into 2013 is how we can manage the return blackgrass seed prior to the sowing of any crop, rather than leave the control to chemicals within the growing crop, which we know is becoming increasingly difficult. So what we've done on this stubble here is we've carried out various cultivations or management of the blackgrass seed to see if we can influence the way it might germinate and when it germinates prior to the crop going in. We know we have to delay drilling to give the blackgrass more time to germinate prior to sowing. We know that as fact, we have to do that, but what we're trying to do is look at how we can usher that blackgrass along, get it to germinate as soon as possible in the autumn period, so that we can bring that delayed drilling window as far forward in the autumn as we possibly can. Starting from the point where I'm standing now, we have lightly cultivated this area with the Cousins cultivator and then rolled it. Very light scratch of a cultivation. Behind me we have raked, and then going up the field we have rolled once, twice and 3 times, and we'll have a look at the effect of those in close-up in just a moment. We've come up towards the top of the field now, and we're in the area where we've rolled the stubble 3 times, and that's the only cultivation, if you want to call it that we've carried out. What we're certainly seeing this year, that a combination of the correct shallow tillage in combination with rolling can have a dramatic effect on increasing the germination, certainly the early and even germination of shed blackgrass seed. We know where the seed is. It's in the surface or on the surface, so we know where that seed's come from, its dormancy profile, the weather and how wet it's been or not, as the case may be, certainly earlier this season. So we know when we can expect that blackgrass to germinate. There's certainly no doubt in my mind that rolling, consolidation, and certainly using heavy rolls, and here we've used a development set of rolls from Cousins weighing a ton per metre, which is a very heavy set of rolls, and in fairness, when we rolled this it was very, very dry, so we needed that sort of weight. It also has to be appreciated is how much cultivation a set of rolls does when used multiple times on a field at differing angles. It actually moves the soil around and incorporates the blackgrass into the surface of the soil. The spread straw on the top keeps the moisture in, and that's been a very noticeable feature all the way through this season. When it was very dry early on, that straw has kept the moisture into the surface, encouraging that blackgrass to grow at the earliest possible opportunity. But there's no doubt that a very shallow cultivation in combination with a roll or multiple rolls has had the greatest effect on the germination. We have tried raking, which we'll have a look at in a moment, but it's really that combination of the cultivation or rake and a roll, and a rake and a slow roll. So even if you're using a rake and roll machine, I still believe you need to roll in a separate operation slowly with a heavy set of rolls after that in order to achieve your maximum effect on germination of the blackgrass. Okay, we're now standing in the Houghton's field. This is the field that last year we had really horrendous problems in. It's a 6 hectare field which had 3 hectares of really bad blackgrass due to much higher underlying clay content in the subsoil, and then the top half of the field a much lighter subsoil, although the surface soil is very, very similar, with much less blackgrass in it. We decided this year to split the field into 2 cultivation types. We are overlapping the bad blackgrass area, but it was really to try and give growers the confidence that they can shallow till heavier soils and still retain or still grow very good crops, because we've got to focus on both issues, controlling blackgrass and growing good crops, good profitable crops at the same time. So as you can see behind me, there's a distinct difference between the cultivation carried out very shallowly with the development machine and standard farm cultivation using, in this case, Sumo Trio, followed by a Vadestad double press, and you can quite clearly see that there is a distinct difference in the amount of blackgrass that we have got to germinate. That's partly because we are burying blackgrass seed or more of that seed to greater depth, which takes it out of the germination zone. That's okay for this year, but we have to bear in mind that will come back at us in subsequent years, and we've got to be ready for that. But equally, what we're seeing this year with the rapid change from very dry soil to really quite wet soil with high amounts of rainfall that we had over a short period of time in the middle of September, is the difference in temperature between the shallow tilled soil and the deeper tilled soil, which is up to 4 degrees different. So the last time I took the temperature in here, we were looking around 16 degrees in the shallow tilled soil, and we'd had a bit of a shock to the system in gone from nearly 20 degrees to 12 degrees in the deeper tilled soil. And quite clearly that's going to have an influence on the speed at which we can get blackgrass to germinate. And all of that sort of information will be collated for discussion at farmer meetings later in the year.